Hey everyone, welcome. Just wanted to give this brief video talking about the ways in which uh, we execute search warrants and what goes into a forensic field kit. And so some of this is a little bit dated, but I think the principles are still very important and applicable. So the very top has different types of cables, different types of power sources, adapters, um, and then the administrative things that you need. For instance, the search warrant forms and documents, business cards, uh, tools. These are all really important to have and have multiples because you never know when you need more. The bottom is primarily the different types of connectors and some tools, as well as the different types of bridges, um, canned air, um, all the things that you need in order to make this successful. And we'll go into more details here in a minute. So things like the floppy drives, I know floppy drives, you never know. That's the whole thing about this kit is you have to be prepared. You just never know when you need it. So wiped drives, write blockers, the toolkits, um, all the disk drive carriers, anti-static mats, surge protectors, basically anything that you need when you're on a scene that you can't get anywhere else you want to have in your kit. So let's talk really quickly about the different types of connectors, and these are really important. So uh, at the very bottom, you see the SCSI drives. Those are very, very old, kind of turn pins. Then you have your IDE, integrated drive electronics. And then SATA are the more common ones now. And of course, these, as the technology changes, these evolve. But the key is that you need to be able to have whatever you need to make digital forensic copies when with whatever is presented. You don't know generally when you arrive at a search warrant what kinds of electronics you're going to find, how old they are. So it's very important to be able to be adaptive to whatever the environment presents. So this is just a quick graphic kind of depicting the two different parts. So in the IDE interface, those are kind of the ribbon. You kind of think of the big old ribbons. Again, those are extraordinarily rare, but you never know. SATA are much more common now. Um, and of course, with solid state drives and certainly the cloud. I mean, the cloud has changed everything. But you have to be able to have all the different types of components available for whatever you find on site. So again, looking at the bottom, you have the different write blockers. So we used Tableau, whether it's SATA, IDE, USB, SCSI, card readers. Obviously, you need a whole bunch of wiped drives because you just don't know how much you're going to get. Screwdrivers, floppy disks, cables, all the different types of power. Um, you know, and again, you're setting up a mini lab at the search warrant location, so you need to be able to have all the different things that you would need in or you would have access to in your lab. Again, evidence bags, anti-static bags, all the things that you need. And you never know when something is going to go wrong, so you want to be prepared. So back in the lab, again, you have the lab is a much more stable operation, stable environment. So you have a lot more things there. Your tackle box, would be things like different drives or different drive types and bridges. And we'll go into those here in just a second. So like first, this is your FireWire um, 800 SATA bridge. And again, you can see all the different types, whether it's the power, um, all the different connectors, the bridge itself. Here we have a 800 SCSI bridge. Again, you're just prepared for all the different types of things that you might encounter. And of course, forensic USB. We get a lot of USB drives, so that was probably the one that I used the most. Again, the top is going to have all these different other cables, FireWire adapters, anti-static bands, cables. Again, anything you need to make this happen. Now, this was a commercially put together kit that we purchased all as one. Um, the fly kits were essentially the same, although we customized that. Each forensic examiner was able to kind of make it their own, depending on what their needs were and what their comfort level was. These are just examples of different card readers. Again, you just never know what you get. And then, as it says, it's always important to test um, because you want to make sure, and you want the confidence to be able to say on the stand that you've actually tested it. Like that's a really important piece of being a forensic examiner. This is just an example of how the drive bridge worked. So you can acquire it, um, and you have different Molex. These are the white um, plastic connectors are called Molex. Those are generally power. So this is an actual scene. So this is a small home office. And one of the most important things when you get onto the scene is you're doing your initial assessment. And you're looking for things. And you're looking to take pictures, right? Pictures are really important, especially, to show that nothing was damaged or destroyed. But also, for example, like this picture, uh, I want to be able to show what the actual initial layout was, where different chords went. And you want to take close-ups, and again, this is a blurry photo, but that's important because it's real. And here the key is, it's important to know that you have two different types of issues here. And so, these two are very similar. So you want to be able to know, this is A and this is B. Um, and so that way it's clear if you need to document and defend what you've done. Making note of the make, model, serial number, any license information, whether it was powered on, and if it was, what's running on it. Again, these are all part of your kind of first look at everything. Again, you want the state of the computer as you find it. One of the most important things is to know like what papers or books or sometimes people write down passwords and keep them under their desk or in their desk drawer. So you want to be able to know kind of where things are generally. So this is an example, right, of the screen what is running at the time. You want to be able to know what is, obviously, first of all, whose computer this is, what's on the screen. Obviously, the desktop has a ton of documents and links. And so when you're doing your forensic analysis, that might be one of the first places to look. Now, that's people's prerogative as to where they save things is unique to each person. So you want to be able to be aware of that. But again, this also shows like what's going on. So in this case, one of the things that they were running was QuickBooks. And obviously, QuickBooks at the time was an application. Now it's mostly QuickBooks Online. But it's really helpful to know, what types of financial information, right? What other documents are being used at the time. And here it's really important to know what the date and time are, because you're going to be able to correlate this to the time that you actually took the photo, execute the search warrant, make the forensic image, so you can tell whether or not the dates and times are correct or they're off. Again, you're at the search warrant. You are trying to use any space you can as a mobile lab. To the extent possible, you want to do everything on site in a quick and timely manner once the scene has been rendered safe. And then it's off to the races, and you really have to set up wherever you can. And so here is an image being made of a hard drive. Now this is a photo, I believe, from the FBI, that this is a lab space. So as you can see, they have a lot more going on. And again, the forensic bridge is there, the target drive, and then a clean or wiped hard drive. And again, just another example of power and data in a bridge. And there you have it. Well, I hope this has been interesting and helpful, just kind of give you a visualization of what happens at a search warrant. Obviously, these are somewhat dated, but hope you appreciate it nonetheless. Thanks for joining.